Good afternoon, guys, and long time no see. Now, I promise I do have some full videos coming out very soon, but I just wanted to get this bonus one out of the way as quick as I could, because this is breaking news. This is a very current event. You join me in the far, far east of Suzhou, where I'm about to ride the brand new Suzhou Metro Line 11. Let's go. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kurt, who cares? There's metro systems all over China. You can't kick a stone without hitting a metro system in a major Chinese city. And there's also new metro systems popping up everywhere, and I'm very aware of that. I mean, Suzhou has 5 currently under construction. The Line 11 is not like other metro systems. This is in many ways the most anticipated metro system in all of China at the moment, because it goes from Weiqing in Suzhou, where it connects with Line 3, and heads all the way to Huaqiao in Shanghai, where it connects with the Shanghai Metro Line 11. So now you can take the metro from Suzhou all the way to Shanghai. Now, the trains themselves are pretty standard modern Chinese metro stock. You have the electronic displays. They show you where you are, the station's coming up. They also tell you which door to get off on. They tell you which carriage you're in. And you know, you see this on new lines like Suzhou Metro Line 5. And also, like Line 5, this is a driverless train, which means it's got the ever popular front window, where train geeks like me can pretend that we're train drivers just for a short journey. I love that, and I'm glad that they kept this on these as well. The real star of the show, though, when it comes to this line, is in the station design. You can tell an awful lot of thought has gone in to designing these stations to look as modern, as current, maybe even futuristic. I mean, station design is important in China. You will often see artwork, you'll often see things relevant to the local area, but I've never seen one quite as modern as this. And I'm certainly not the only person taking photographs or just admiring the craftsmanship, the work that has gone into make you feel like you're stepping into the future. Now, I think it should be pointed out that the line itself is not quite a finished article yet. The station I just got off at should have 5 exits. It's currently operating with just 2. And when you step outside, you can see why. They're still under construction. So I think they prioritised getting it operational and then adding the finishing touches, which, you know, I think that's kind of fair enough. The line's only been open for 3 days at the time of recording, but it's not ideal when you're trying to get to places. I mean, the exit behind me should really be the main exit. This station is named after the Arts and Culture Centre behind me. And you can barely access it even from the road because of the construction that's going on. But China being China and the speed of construction here, I'm sure that won't take too long. Now, there are some subtle differences between this line and the other 5 on the Suzhou network. For starters, the entrances are a different design, and they also follow different English naming conventions. The stations here tend to use pinyin transliteration that you might see on the Shanghai system or on the Beijing system, whereas Suzhou actually tends to translate things. This station, for example, uses the pinyin Zhongxin, whereas on Line 5 at the Sports Centre, they translate Zhongxin to Centre. But for all intents and purposes, it actually does act like any other line in Suzhou. I scanned in using my Suzhou Metro app in Suzhou on Line 3 and scanned out using the same app. One thing I'm not sure about is how that works in Shanghai, or when you're transferring onto the Shanghai system. I did have a little look at the ticket machines, and you can only buy single journey tickets on the Suzhou system. There's no options for Shanghai. So I suspect you might have to scan out and then enter the Shanghai system. But there's only one way to find out, so let's go and go and check it out and get out of this heat. So as we hurtle eastwards at a maximum speed of around 100 kilometers per hour, I thought I'd just clear up a couple of misconceptions about this line. Now, most of the hype and talk about Line 11 is because it's billed as a Suzhou to Shanghai line, which is understandable. One of the reasons I'm very excited about this is because it connects up the two cities. It's just not technically true. The eastern terminus of this line, Huaqiao, is indeed on the Shanghai Metro Line 11, not to be confused with the Suzhou Line 11. I don't know why they chose those names, but it's really confusing. But that station is not in Shanghai, technically. It's in Kunshan, which means it's technically in Suzhou. Now that might sound like I'm being a bit petty, and I am. You know, it's a chance for me to give a quick actually in my video. But I also think it's relevant because the other misconception I hear is that this line is designed for people to travel from Suzhou to Shanghai, which is not really true. I mean, we have great transport links to Shanghai from Suzhou railway station to Shanghai Hongqiao. It's about 25 minutes by train. In contrast, to ride this entire line, it's going to take around an hour, because that's not what it's designed for. This system is built for the people of Kunshan mostly. Kunshan is a relatively small city sandwiched in between Suzhou and Shanghai. But the way Chinese cities work is Suzhou is a prefecture level city, which means that while Kunshan, by all intents and purposes, is its own city, has its own sports teams, its own local government, its own city centre, it falls under the jurisdiction of Suzhou. So this line is built for people in Kunshan, and I think that's great. Kunshan's actually a really nice city. Out to the east, you've got the banks of Yangchenghu, which is famous for its crab, it's famous for its food. And you've got interest in architecture, you've got some really modern areas, you've got some more natural areas, and great city to cycle in. So if this line brings people from Shanghai and Suzhou into Kunshan to explore, I think that's fantastic, and I'm really glad. And I'm just also glad that the people of Kunshan now have a great transport system, because it wasn't always the easiest city to get about, especially if you didn't know the place. So viva Kunshan. And here we are, end of the line, the eastern terminus and the interchange with the Shanghai system. This is Huaqiao Station. And it turned out I was right when it comes to transferring between the two lines. You do need to scan out of the Suzhou system, scan into the Shanghai system, which is a bit of a pity, I think. I imagine that's probably something they will be working on to integrate the two lines, but for now, yeah, they are two separate trips. I'm also not 100% sure how it works, because I just took a look at the ticket machines here, and they've only got the Suzhou system. Maybe in other parts of the station, near the Shanghai platforms, maybe you can buy Shanghai tickets. But I'm not going to do that today. I've got no reason to be in Shanghai. Other than that slight disappointment that they're not totally integrated yet, I'm pretty impressed with this line. One journey from one end to the other, as I mentioned earlier, takes about an hour, and it's 8 yuan, 8 kuai, which is not bad. You know, it's a long old journey, so to get from one end of Kunshan to the other, or technically from Suzhou proper to the far end of Kunshan, 8 kuai is okay. They're nice trains, they're air conditioned, you know, they've still got that new metro smell, which is always nice. So yeah, they've done a good job. And once the system is fully integrated, if that is the plan, then it's really going to be a great thing for the people of Kunshan, and that is the most important thing, really. It's been good fun. Anyway, back to Suzhou, but nice to see you all, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.